Investors aren't the only people watching your probate or inherited property. Thieves, scammers, and squatters may be watching it too. And I once came across a vacant probate property where the people watching the house apparently weren't interested in stealing what was inside. They were interested in using the address. I'll show you exactly what happened. Probate and inherited properties can sometimes sit vacant while the estate is being handled. And unfortunately, a property that looks abandoned can attract the wrong kind of attention. You've got thieves looking for what's inside. You've got scammers looking for opportunities. And you've got squatters looking for somewhere nobody seems to be watching. Let's start with the most obvious one, thieves. A probate or inherited property may contain furniture, electronics, tools, collectibles, jewelry, and decades worth of someone's personal belongings. If someone realizes that nobody is regularly checking the house, they may see an opportunity to break in and start taking things. And the longer the property looks abandoned, the greater the concern becomes. Then you've got scammers. One example is the fake check overpayment scam. Someone sends a check for more money than they're supposed to pay. Then they come up with some reason where they need you to send the extra money someplace else. The bank may initially show the funds in your account, but later the check turns out to be fraudulent. The money disappears, but the money you sent to the scammer is already gone. I've done another video explaining exactly how this scam works, and I'll link to it in the description. There are also deed fraud schemes. That's where someone may attempt to impersonate an owner or use fraudulent documents in an effort to transfer or sell a property that they do not own. And a vacant property can potentially be attractive because the actual owner or personal representative may live across town or even in another state. I've done a separate video on deed fraud as well, and I'll link to it in the description. But here's one I'd never thought about until I saw it happening myself. I was entering a probate property for the first time in Litchfield Park that had been sitting unattended for quite some time. The front lawn was badly overgrown. Flyers were piling up around the front door. Everything about this property told you no one's here. When I walked up to the front door, something caught my attention. There were a bunch of UPS and FedEx delivery notices stuck to the door. And someone had written instructions on the notices basically saying, just leave the package at the front door. And I thought, that's kind of strange. No one lives here. So why are packages being delivered here? When I have a vacant probate or inherited property, I start introducing myself to the surrounding neighbors. And that's where it got really interesting. The neighbors told me packages had been getting delivered to this vacant house regularly. And shortly after the packages were delivered, someone would appear on a bicycle. They'd grab the package and leave. No one lived there. So who was ordering all these packages? I'd mentioned what I'd seen to a friend of mine who's a police officer. He explained that criminals can sometimes use an address they don't live at as a drop location. Fraudulently obtained merchandise or drugs can be shipped to an address that isn't connected to the person committing the crime. They watch for the delivery, grab the package, and disappear. And think about why this particular house might have been attractive. Overgrown grass, flyers piling up, no one coming and going. To someone watching the property, all those things were saying, no one is paying attention. And here's the part that really stuck with me. They didn't necessarily need to break into the house. They didn't need to live in the house. They just needed the address. And I may have never known any of this was happening if I hadn't visited the property and talked to the neighbors. Then you've got another concern, squatters. Someone may see a vacant house and try to get inside. They may change or add locks and move into the house. Or sometimes people don't even need to get inside the house. They may set up in the backyard or around the property and begin using whatever utilities they can access. Again, it comes back to the same question. Is anyone watching this property? That's why I don't believe a vacant probate or inherited property should simply sit there between showings with no one checking on it. Someone needs to physically put eyes on that property. I visit every probate and inherited property I'm working on at least twice a week. But I also do something else. When I start working with a vacant property, I go to the surrounding homes. I introduce myself and leave a business card. And I tell them, if you see something that doesn't look right, please call me. And I get a lot of calls from neighbors. A strange car in the driveway, someone walking around the backyard, a package showing up, a door that suddenly looks different. The neighbors can become one of the best security systems you've got. And this isn't something I just tell clients that I do. Let me show you. On August 18th, I visited 3 different probate and inherited properties. When I'm here, I'm checking all the doors and windows. I'm checking sliding glass doors. I'm checking the yard. I'm checking for packages and mail. I'm looking for unfamiliar vehicles. I'm looking for signs someone's entered the property. Changes in the landscaping. Anything that wasn't here the last time I visited. It's not complicated, but someone actually has to show up and do it. If you're responsible for a probate or inherited property, don't assume no one is paying attention to the house just because it's vacant. Someone may already be watching. The question is, who's watching it for you? I don't just list probate and inherited homes. I help you create a plan from first entry into the home all of the way till closing. I'm Chris Zubricki with RE/MAX Fine Properties. I'm the BJJ broker and I've been fighting for my clients since 2001. Call today and we'll put a plan together.